So I've been looking at my UFC DraftKings lately, and it's been getting much harder to get unique every week. There's a lot more sharp players out there, leaving a lot of salary on the table. So it's getting more and more difficult to get a unique lineup that can win. So at some point, you need to consider other alternatives for getting unique. I want to look into whether it's viable to start using stacking in three round fights. Now that may sound crazy. You're guaranteed a loser. You're guaranteed only 3 rounds from your loser. Like very rarely is that going to happen. But like there are instances where it's happened. We've seen it twice recently. And it's not just on the short slate with 7 or 8 fights, all the favorites win, but it has happened once on a normal slate, which is very interesting. I want to break it down. So the one happened on was actually a pay-per-view, UFC 254. Nobody landed on it, by the way. So if you had it, you would have been solo first. Try to figure out what happens to make it. What are the conditions you need to make it happen? Well, all the favorites are winning. That's the big thing. Khabib, extremely expensive. He won. Gaethje, not that many points. So you're not going to be able to put a loser in there. You need to find somewhere to save your salary, and the salary savings ends up being in the 3 round stack. Even here, no matter who you picked, I think this is the 8,200, 8,000. The winner's not scoring that many points. You need like 50 points from your loser. You need 80 to 100 minimum from your winner. We're not getting there with this fight. Volkov, another favorite, win. Hawes, win, favorite. Murphy, favorite. Ankalaev, favorite. Tuivasa was the favorite. Technically, he was the underdog on DraftKings pricing, I think, but he was the favorite, the closing line. And you can afford 1 or 2 of those, but not that many. This is the important fight. I'll get back to it later. Nathaniel Wood, Casey Kenny. Oliveira, Shavkat Rakhmonov. At the time, this guy's also the favorite. He won, put up enough points, but he was also very like necessary in the lineup construction. Down Jones, Sam Alvey, draw. You're not scoring any points here. All right, no one even gets the win bonus. Maverick, very expensive, very expensive. In order to get her in your lineup, you needed to have enough salary savings, which you could only do with this fight stack. Then Alvarez, another favorite, he won. So how do you know if a fight stack should have won on that day? Looking at it here, the winning lineup is using a lot of salary. I think this is all of it. There's $200 left, and they're still holding on to an 83 here, and they didn't have Miranda Maverick in there, and she put up a lot of points. Miranda Maverick had 114. So the winning lineup is sitting there without this 114 points just because of salary restrictions they couldn't get there. How could you have gotten there with it? Well, look at the Casey Kenny fight. He put up 101 on his side. He did his job, putting up points. Wrong one. Here. Daniel Wood, Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny got his 101 points. Daniel Wood, 136 significant strikes and a loss. That is huge. You get loser's value. He was actually a very low price fighter. So you get your salary savings. You get your 68 points for him, which, yeah, that's not great. That's not going to beat out Robert Whittaker in the winning lineup, 83. You lose 15 points there by swapping him in. But you get to go up to over 110 points, over 114 points on this Alexander Volkov. You could swap in because now the salary totally makes sense because Whittaker's gone. His 8,000 you can drop down to the cheaper fighter, Nathaniel Wood. You get a lot more savings there. You spend it on Miranda Maverick. You get the number 1 lineup. So I found this is pretty interesting. I tried running it once recently. Of course, this is a very risky strategy. On the nights where it hits, you're going to have the top few spots possibly, but in between times it hits, you're not going to have anything. You're guaranteed losses. You're not going to have a shot at winning. I just thought this was pretty interesting, and I'm thinking about playing it this weekend, the strategy. And here's why. So when you look at this card, you have to see where are my paths to upsets, right? Because this happens when every fight is either the favorite is very expensively priced and it doesn't matter what happens as long as the favorite wins, or the underdog wins, doesn't put up many points. Like very, very few points. Like we're talking a 50-point win. So you have to find spots, at least 2 on the card usually, where the underdog is going to win and put up a lot of points. And I'm not sure if I see that this time. Of course, you can always get an underdog who wins. Jordan right here, very decent chance that, plus 200 odds, but he's at like plus 300 to win by KO early in the fight. Like, of course, there's a possibility, but is it a decent enough chance that I should be playing 3-round stacks? Right? Valentina Shevchenko, she costs 8,600 this week, or 9,600 this week. It's just crazy. If you ever want to get her in your lineup, you're probably going to have 3 underdogs plus her. With way favorites of winning rate recently, that probably not going to happen. So what do we have here? Heavy favorite, very likely low scoring match. These guys, 2 points a minute, maybe if it doesn't go to the ground, like this could end up being a 60-point winner. That's possible, of course. Women's fight, not going to decision likely. They're also not too high volume. These guys don't score a lot. Last time they fought, they didn't score too much. It was actually a draw. That was part of it. Next guys, I don't see a good chance of a finish here, but this could be this fight to target for your stack. This one, Buckley is pretty highly priced. If he wins, you need the 3-round stack, or you need a stack. The women's fight, that's pretty low scoring. This one, heavy favorite. Below we have another heavy favorite. And this Juban Gordon. I actually don't know much about it. This maybe could be a place where you get some salary savings. But overall, there's not too many spots on this card where it looks like an underdog has a great shot at winning. A couple months ago, a card like this, you'd have 6 fights that are plus 100, pretty much even odds, or like between minus 150 and plus minus 150 or minus 180 for the favorite. We have just a lot of these minus 320, minus 450, minus 325, minus 240, minus 260, minus 1600, minus 300. So many heavy favorites on cards nowadays that I think 3-round fight stacking is a viable strategy. Very high risky, but if you win, it's big. Subscribe to the channel to get updates for when I post a new video, and comment down below what topics you want me to address, and I'll try to make a video about them.